A quiet evening in Venice, Los Angeles, turned into an unforgettable confrontation when two bikers decided to harass the wrong couple. What started as mocking words escalated into an act of cruelty that would reveal the dangerous strength of a man just trying to walk his dogs. Before we get into the full story, imagine this. You're walking down the street, minding your business, when someone targets your loved ones. How far would you go to protect them? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more compelling stories that challenge and inspire. The streets of Venice were bathed in the soft light of the setting sun. Jason Statham, dressed casually in a grey hoodie, walked alongside his wife, Rosie Huntington Whiteley, who held the leashes of their two miniature dachshunds, Dolly and Peggy. Their outing was meant to be simple, a quick trip to the gas station for batteries to quiet Dolly's favourite toy. "Dolly's been howling all day," Rosie sighed. "I don't know what it is about that toy, but she can't be without it." Jason smiled faintly, though his eyes scanned the quiet neighborhood. "You sure we couldn't just order the batteries? I don't like how people act when they recognize me." Rosie laughed softly, squeezing his arm. "We're 3 blocks away. No one's going to notice us like this." But as they turned the corner, the rumble of approaching motorcycles broke the stillness. 2 bikers, clad in leather jackets emblazoned with snarling wolf logos, roared past, their engines drowning out the quiet of the evening. Jason tensed instinctively, his hand brushing against Rosie's. "Let's keep moving," he muttered. The bikers slowed and turned back, their eyes locked on the small dogs happily trotting along the pavement. "Hey!" one of them shouted, his voice laced with mockery. "Those mop dogs yours? Looks like you brought the wrong tools to clean the streets." Rosie tugged Jason's arm. "Let's just go." But before they could move, one of the bikers revved his engine and leaned forward, his boot lashing out. Peggy yelped as the kick sent her tumbling. The world seemed to freeze. Jason dropped to his knees, scooping up the trembling dog. His hand ran over her tiny body, checking for injuries. Slowly, he stood, his face a mask of calm fury. "Apologize," he said, his voice low and deliberate. The bikers laughed, the sound sharp and cruel. "For what?" one sneered. "It's just a dog." Rosie stepped closer, her voice trembling with anger. "What is wrong with you? She's harmless." Jason shifted slightly, placing himself between Rosie and the bikers. His mind raced, calculating the best way to de-escalate while protecting his family. "Let's not make this worse," he said, his tone measured. But the bikers weren't interested in peace. The larger of the two dismounted, his boots crunching against the pavement as he closed the distance. "You think you're tough?" he sneered, towering over Jason. "What are you gonna do about it?" Jason's jaw tightened. His thoughts flashed to Peggy's yelp, to the fear in Rosie's eyes, and to the countless times he'd faced down threats both on and off screen. In that moment, Jason's training took over. Years of discipline as a martial artist and action star had taught him one thing. Control was everything. "I'm giving you one chance to walk away," Jason said, his voice cold and steady. The biker laughed, his fist clenching. "Or what?" Jason moved. In a blur, he disarmed the man with a swift strike to his wrist, sending him sprawling onto the pavement. The other biker, stunned, hesitated before lunging forward. Jason sidestepped, his movements fluid, and with a precise kick sent the second man's helmet flying. The commotion drew the attention of nearby pedestrians, who began to gather at a safe distance. Phones emerged, cameras capturing the scene as the 2 bikers scrambled to their feet, their bravado replaced by fear. Jason stood over them, his expression unyielding. "You don't lay hands, or boots, on my family. Ever." The bikers backed away, their hands raised in mock surrender. All right, one stammered. "We didn't mean anything by it." Jason didn't flinch. "You meant enough to kick a defenseless dog. Get out of here before I call the police." With the crowd watching, the bikers had no choice but to retreat. They climbed onto their motorcycles and sped off, their engines fading into the distance. As the crowd dispersed, a middle-aged woman approached Jason, her face lined with concern. "Is your dog all right?" Jason nodded, cradling Peggy in his arms. "She'll be fine, thanks." Rosie leaned into Jason, her voice quiet. Are you okay? He looked down at Peggy, then at Dolly, who wagged her tail nervously. I am now. As they walked home, Jason's mind raced. The encounter had left him shaken, not by the danger, but by the realization of how easily violence could escalate. A question for you. This story isn't just about protecting loved ones. It's about standing up to cruelty and injustice, even when it's inconvenient or dangerous. What would you have done in Jason's position? Would you have risked a confrontation? Or would you have walked away? And how do you think we, as a society, should handle those who prey on the vulnerable? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories that challenge and inspire.